here's your host, Deborah Duncan.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Great Day Houston. Okay, so if you are hitting the road for a family vacation this summer, make sure this doesn't happen to you. You're all packed up with nowhere to go because, the family truckster will not start. Okay, so before you head out, here to get your engine going and keep everything working on your vehicle, please welcome Lauren Fix to the show. Lauren is known as the Car Coach. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning.
Here I come. Okay, so you have said that there is no reason why your car cannot run forever, or almost kind of forever.
Well, 100,000 miles is very, very common. You can go 200,000-300,000 miles in at least 10 years minimum. And new cars today have the ability to do that as well as older cars.
All right, before we go forward, let's put the car in reverse.
Okay.
Beep, 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 right? And let's talk about how you got interested in cars. We know this is kind of a male-dominated field, but you're at the top of your game.
Oh, well, thank you very much. My father worked for the big three automakers. I was born in Detroit. And I was out in the garage as a kid. I was a tomboy. And what are you doing? And he had an old Corvette and an old Barracuda and a boat and a Thunderbird. And he'd said, changing the brakes or changing the oil. I'm like, can I help? So he's like, sure. So I started off as a tool jockey. And when I turned 15, I bought my first car. Wasn't able to drive it, but it had lots
of
What was your first car? It was a 76 Camaro with a very small V8 engine, which only kept it for about 6 months. And then I bought
a Mustang. The guys were jealous of you.
I know. In high school, I was like a 10th grader, and I'm driving an old newer
muscle car.
Yeah, and then I ended up buying a Mustang after that. And now that I'm married with my husband, we have a tube manufacturing company. I've worked for breaker manufacturing companies. I am an engineer as well as an ASE certified tech.
So an underachiever is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, I just don't do it. I raced cars in the past. My daughter's name is Shelby.
I love that.
After the cars.
I love that. All right, so a lot of us, we're kind of in this kind of wasteful society where we buy something new because, it had a flat tire, I need something new, or whatever. Or people who have a lot of problems with their cars only because the maintenance work wasn't done, and we can't underestimate that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So in making your ride last forever, as you mentioned, no reason why we can't get 100,000 miles or beyond. April is National Car Care Month. Let's go through some of the things that we ignore or don't realize how important they are. Critical fluids.
Right, and you don't have to know anything about cars. If you broke your arm, a doctor would put up an x-ray and show you. And that's why I tell you, if someone's going to try and sell you on something, show me. I want to see it. And if I know it's not right, I can understand that. You don't have to be a doctor. Same thing is true under the hood. You don't have to be a mechanic. But what you do need to know is there are 10 fluids underneath this car. And some of them are obvious, like engine oil. We all know about engine oil.
Right.
And there's a big thing about motor oils matters, and that is getting the right motor oil for your vehicle. And Motor Oil Matters is a not-for-profit group just educating people to get the right motor oil. How do you know? Get your owner's manual. It says what you're supposed to run synthetic.
Okay, now there's part of the problem. A lot of us have a problem getting that owner's manual out and actually flipping through. But again, if it costs you money, you may as well do it.
That's a little book in the glove box with all the napkins and ketchup packs, since that's how everybody's glove box seems to be. But it'll also tell you information like what's the right brake fluid, what are the correct fluids, when do they need to be changed. Don't let someone behind the counter tell you, every 3,000 miles. No, they're trying to upsell you like, do you want to biggie those fries?
Right.
Same
and a lot of that might depend on what climate you're in and
absolutely.
how hard you drive.
Houston, really is difficult on engines, so synthetic fluids are really going to make a huge difference. Another thing is when you pump gas, no matter where you go, I always recommend a name brand gasoline, but sometimes, you're out of town or whatever and you run whatever, the fuel injectors actually get plugged and it'll affect your fuel economy.
How do you know it's plugged? Do you know, or by the time you know it's too late?
Well, fuel economy starts dropping off. Maybe you'll go to your favorite technician and they'll say, we can clean those fuel injectors, which the owner's manual says needs to be cleaned. To keep that at a longer distance, a longer interval, for around $20, and I've seen these for around $15 even, you can get Max Clean. It's made by Royal Purple, which is here in Houston.
Yay,
Houston. Love the town. And you pour it into your gas tank, whether you have gas or diesel, and you fill up your tank.
All right.
And it'll clean the fuel injectors, you'll improve fuel economy, performance, and keep that mechanic where he belongs in the shop.
There are some things that we've been told to do over the years that might change because the technology of cars have changed, or maybe they never were the right thing to do. Cleaning out the actual engine.
Right. Now, that's something I always tell people. They're going to try and sell you on an engine cleaner. I do not recommend those personally. That is an upsell, and honestly, every time people have done those and send me emails, they end up with problems afterwards. So what I tell people is when you pop the hood and you see this plastic, your natural reaction, this is a beautiful Buick Enclave, but the problem is You feel like, I got to go to the mechanic. You do not have to go to your dealer. You can go wherever you want, but you can do some of this stuff yourself.
Yeah.
And some of it you can use visually. You use your senses. I see that the belts are worn or the wiper blades are worn. Wiper blades
rubber
wear.
parts are hard in Houston because we have such extreme temperatures and the heat can break things down quickly, too.
And also on a steep windshield, like minivans, SUVs, I have a Mini Cooper, the windshield wiper chatters. This is a windshield wiper that actually keeps the blade on the glass. It's made by Trico. It's called the Force. It's cool because it has a wing on it, and it keeps the blade on the glass.
Yeah, because oftentimes it'll be streaking, and you're going, seriously? Yeah, and the whole bit
when do you wait for that? Like when it rains, like you're supposed to do today. So, I mean, those are things I tell people, don't wait. 80% of your driving decisions are based on visibility. So if you can see something that needs to be repaired, then you can tell a technician.
Yeah.
And when you're looking for a technician, look for an ASE certified technician. You want to see that gear on their sleeve, not just outside the building, but they want to make sure they've gone through the testing, and a master tech is always the best.
Another place where we get into trouble, of course, is the battery, and we know there's a problem with it when the car doesn't start, right?
Right, absolutely. And that's very true when it gets really, really hot out here. I've talked to 2 people already today who said, you know what, my car didn't start, and that is because the battery does all the work. It's got to start this car, and some of the new ones with the new technology require even bigger batteries, so the sun and the heat really takes a toll on it.
Yeah, so make sure you have your jump starter kit, or is that applied today?
That we have over here, actually. This is a portable jump starter. It's 900 amps. This is good for an SUV, a pickup truck. So sometimes you end up with some of these vehicles, you go, I can't jump start it. This is made by Peak. It's portable. It's around $100. Great graduation gift, Mother's Day, Father's Day. This is actually one from my car. Actually, all the things in this table are from my car.
Yeah, it's funny because that's what my mom gave me when I went off to college. I thought I was getting jewelry, and I opened up it. It was a flashlight, battery jumper cable.
I like jewelry.
Yeah, no, I didn't get
the jewelry,
that.
the purse thing.
Didn't get that. Hey, by the way, we're going to take a break. Stick around because when we come back, the car coach will be answering your questions you have about your car. Give us a call at 713-284-1055, 713-284-1055, and we'll get your car running again next. And she's taking your calls to help get those motors running out there. The phone number is 713-284-1055. Okay, have to ask you, your last name is really Fix?
Yes, I married the right guy. My husband's Paul Fix. He actually raced in Trans Am professionally for 6 years, but he and I restore cars for fun. So I married the right guy.
I love it. Yeah. So there you go. Lauren can fix your car, too. Fix your car troubles. All right, let's go to the audience. We have some folks who have some questions. Hi.
Hi. I'd like to know how often you have to change your oil and how to check your tires.
Very good question. Okay, we can do a whole show on all this stuff. And it's great. Changing your oil is so important. It's the lifeblood of your car. Changing your oil, again, what the owner's manual says. However, some of the new cars, like the little Honda Civics and Mini Coopers, they all say go 10
billion miles now.
Oh, 10,000 miles.
Compared to what it used to be.
The reason is it's full synthetic oil, and I recommend a full synthetic oil. I use Royal Purple in my cars, but the truth is, full synthetic oil is really the oil that you want to use. And the thing is, you can go 7,500 to 10,000 miles. You get better fuel economy, better performance, less emissions, and it's best for your engine, especially if you're going to keep your car a long time. And checking your tire pressure, you got to get a little stick gauge or a dial gauge. The correct place to get your tire pressure is inside your driver's door. Every car has it. Open up your driver's door. There's a sticker. That sticker is the correct tire pressure, and that is for your specific car.
Yeah, and is that impacted by the weather, if it's colder or if it's hotter?
Absolutely. So you check your tire pressure once a month in the morning when the tires are cold. It's a very simple thing to do, and at the same time, you can check your oil. All right. Next question. Hi.
Who do you call if a car breaks down?
Good question.
Ghostbusters.
No, that's a really good question. A lot of times, and that's what they don't teach in driver's ed. And my daughter and I keep saying that. Driver's ed doesn't teach you anything other than to pass the test. Sometimes you can have road service. If you purchase a new car, road service is included. If you've got a road service plan, which could be through your insurance company, or there's a bazillion companies out there, including AAA, that's a choice. But if your car breaks down on the side of the road, you should know some basic things. What do I do if I have a flat tire? If you don't know how to do it, you can buy a can of Fix-A-Flat, very easy, and in 7 minutes you can be back on the road. If you've got a dead battery, the jump starter we were looking at. If there's really a problem, you call road service, because the truth is if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it yourself. Get someone else, a professional.
Yeah, and speaking of, John has an email question, and he says, is the dealership always the most expensive route to fix your car, or are they ever worth the extra cost? I mean, because, for a long time we were told, oh, but we know these cars, and you might void your warranty if you go someplace else, and,
Well, that's a very tricky question, actually. The truth is on that, when it comes to getting your car maintained, believe it or not, the dealers keep about 30% of the customers that purchase cars from there. And then where do those other 70% go? To the independent automotive aftermarket person, again, an ASC certified tech. You do not have to go to the dealer, but I always say, if you know you need brakes, call the dealer. Find out what the price is. You can do that over the phone.
Yeah.
Then call 2 or 3 local places and look for an online coupon, too, because there's always coupons for everything.
When you buy your car, there's certain dealerships that say, we will do your service for free.
If it's included,
you're paying for it somewhere, but we'll do
if
it
it's
for
free, who's going to turn down free?
And you have that relationship with that person. And I love it. In some cars, it actually pops up saying, you are due for this. It'll let you know. Oh, it'll let you know. But you're saying, check and see if you really need that.
I have a car that sits during the winter because I live up north. And of course, it's based on time. So it says, oh, your car's ready for oil. It's like, it hasn't even moved. It's slept all winter. It's like hibernated, so it makes no sense. So you have to go with what the mileage is. Again, that book in the glove box and all the napkins and ketchup
going back to that book. You keep trying to make us read.
I know, you got to take the plastic off of it.
We have Max on the line. Good morning, Max. Max, are you there?
Hello?
What's your question?
My question is my family was put at risk because I bought 4 new tires from Michelin, and each one of those tires blew out terribly on my trip. And I had my family and another family together in a big minivan. And what I'm trying to say is, shouldn't I have? I know now that I should have done something about it, other than just complain. But they never did anything about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of more of a legal question, but...
I'll handle it from a mechanical standpoint, because the legal side, you really, sounds like you really need a lawyer for that. But the truth is, I hope your family's okay, and I hope that no one got injured, because that's the most important thing, because cars are heavy vehicles and you can get injured. Hopefully everyone was okay. But as far as tires, there is a date stamp now on tires, sort of like there is on beer. I don't drink beer, but I know
there's a date on beer. It sticks around that long?
The stuff that sits around. Well, tires also have a date stamp on them, and that's why it's important to get a reputable tire. I always say you get what you pay for. If you buy a $100 tire, you're getting $100 worth of tires. I just purchased tires. I have a little Mini Cooper, and I will tell you the tires are about $200 a piece. But I bought the right tire for my vehicle. It was a run flat. So those tires can be expensive. It's really important for you and for your viewers to know that when you're buying the right tires, to get the tire that says in your owner's manual and check that date stamp. If it's if the tire's going to be out of date, forget it. You don't want that.
All right. Let's go back to our audience. Hi there.
Hi, Coach Lauren. I have a truth or myth question.
Okay.
I want to know if it's true or myth. If you pour a carbonated soda on a battery, it will help the car start.
Oh. Good question. It won't help this car start, but it will take off that little white crusty stuff, the Coca-Cola. We used to do it with shells when we were kids. Remember that? You take the shells and you put them in Coca-Cola so they take all the sand off. If you put, I wouldn't recommend using it because it's obviously like high fructose corn syrup now.
Yeah. But well, use diet. Use diet. That's why I use diet on my battery.
You can't keep your diet lean. I have to keep it lean. Honestly, that will actually take corrosion off, but it won't help your vehicle start because it doesn't have a way of transferring electricity, although it is a liquid. And of course, Coca-Cola from way back, from that myth, is way back before they started changing what's in soda or pop, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
But I recommend baking soda and water to clean up a battery if you see all that white crusty stuff on it. Otherwise, if you've got a problem, get a battery jump starter like the one I was showing you outside.
All right, we have Marianne on the line this morning. Good morning, Marianne.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I have a quick question.
Okay.
I always go by my maintenance. Well, I had my transmission fluid drained and put new stuff and seals and all that filter on there. And now my car seems to be using more gas. And, of course, I'm supposed to use the high rate of gas on my car according to the manual. So I had used some regular. And I don't know if the gas now we're getting with the ethylene is burning faster.
Or maybe even the time
I
of
know
year.
what she's talking about. This
saying?
is a very heated conversation. I've been going all over national TV talking about this. The transmission repair had nothing to do with your fuel economy. However, it could if the transmission was slipping. But in reality, what you're talking about is ethanol. And this is a very heated conversation that I have on a regular basis. So we're going to get a little edgy here.
We're racy here.
Get a little edgy. Okay. How gasoline is processed is it's broken down, and right now they produce it. Let's say you have to buy 87 octane. That's what it says in your owner's manual. It says it on your gas door. But when you add ethanol to it, it's so corrosive that it actually takes up 3 octane rating. So instead of it being 87, they're producing 84. So the oil manufacturers are producing for less, but they're putting this corn product that we're supposed to be consuming in our stomachs into our cars to make it more. It's very corrosive, and that corrosiveness also separates in a gas tank, causes damage to fuel systems, emission systems, engine components. And the bottom line is ethanol is not great for cars. I know there are tons of proponents out there for it, but the fact is it destroys engine, and that bill is on you. It's on all of your viewers, and that is going to be the problem. And there's nothing you can do about that because that's a government mandate when they took MTBE out of gasoline. Now here's the concern that I have is that when it separates, your engine is getting pure ethanol, so it's destroying your engine, it destroys your fuel economy. It costs you when you have emissions bills that come how much is that?
If you're a mechanic, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, if you're a mechanic, you're like, yes,
you're looking for a job,
$2,000
get some training as a mechanic, and there you go.
Right, it also causes check engine lights to come on. So when you go to the other side of this, and you're looking at what happens when the ethanol's gone and there's pure gasoline in the tank, and this is a serious problem with off-road vehicles, weed whackers, anything that runs on two-cycle, two-stroke, it actually destroys those engines. So this is something for you as a consumer. There are only a few solutions. I found 3. One is a company called Stable. The other thing is something called Fuel Fix RX, and also BG makes a product. It's a fuel stabilizer. You pour it into your gas tank, and it stabilizes, mixes the two, and improves your fuel economy. I have tested all 3, and all 3 work equally.
All right. Lauren, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Car Coach, Lauren Fix, and her tips for your vehicle, you just have to go to greatdayhouston.com.